Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Uh, I didn't do a video today in the morning, live video, but I wanted to cover a recap of the day and go over some of the levels and some of the items that the market was pretty wild in the morning session, and then it calmed down, but there were still some opportunities for good trades. You guys could see here, this on the right, we've got the 5 minute chart. This is the 1 minute chart on the Think and Swim, and this is the 1 minute on Ninja Trader. The market opened right here. I put this green line just so we can see it. It didn't act, it opened actually at that bar right there. And as you guys could see, or as like I mention every day, we need four lines on the screen that you need to put on a daily basis besides the TMT levels. And those four lines are overnight low, overnight high, overnight open, which is this gold line, and day session open, which is this dotted line here. Okay, so the market opened right there and immediately climbed higher, and we had a pretty good session there. Let me expand this here. All right, so market climbed here, and you guys could see on the RSI when the market came over here and touched the TMT level and tested the overnight open right there. We had almost two double top bars right there. And we were in overbought condition with a small divergence. That was a good place to go short. Now, you could have gotten short here on the 1 minute or on the 5 minute right there. Okay, so that was the first short. If you didn't take this long, which is fine. I usually don't trade the first 5 minutes or so. Sometimes I do, but there's nothing for me to trade here. Okay, so this was more strategy for me, more concrete based on my level and RSI. And then market came back down and went below the day session low right there, the below the day session low. We weren't really oversold, but it did touch the low level of the RSI and then had a sharp reversal there. There was no level right there for me to trade. The only thing I would have traded here is going above once the market broke back the day session open right there, I would have gone along here. But I didn't trade that one because of this long bar, to be honest with you. Okay. And so the market climbed back up, and look at what happened. It came back up and tested overnight high right there, and then it dropped. That was a good place to go short. It came back down to this level here, TMT level, and found support multiple times. But this market here around this level, unless you wanted to do short scalping, there was nothing to do here. You could have just traded back and forth in that range, but honestly, there was no reason to trade. Okay, so when the market dropped, it came down to this level. Let me remove this one here for now because that's irrelevant for now. So market came down and touched this level here and found support there, and the market was in oversold condition. That was a good place to go long, especially right here. See, the market went up, came back to test the level again. It didn't go through it. We could have gotten long here around 97. It went all the way to around right there, about 97. What was it here? Sorry, 908 or 907 to 31, 33 level right there. And then look what happened. It tested the overnight high again. Overnight open. And then we had a sharp decline right there. And that sharp decline, there was no way that we could have, unless you know much about the news and stuff. Otherwise, there was no way that we could have caught it. Okay, so we let the market do its thing when something like this happens. And of course, it went from one end to the other end. It tested the global X low and the TMT level right there. And you can see it here. And then it didn't close below any of those. So that was a good indication that market was holding, pretty good. When the market broke back up here on the day session open, that was a good indication to buy. So we could have gotten any buy here above this level. Okay. So market played around there and it came down, and let me remove that one because that's not really a level for us for now. So it came down and did like a higher bottom than this. This was a good indication as well. I wouldn't trade here. I would have traded again when the prices broke above the day session open right there. Okay, so we could have gotten long there, and then market climbed higher again. It was the bars. I really didn't like the bars today, so it went back up and it dropped. It went to this level right there. Okay, we had overbought condition, and it didn't go through there. It broke. In fact, it broke back below the global X high and retested it right there. And again, after that, broke through the global X low. This was a good place to go short right there. And look what happened then. It came down to the day session open, and look at the 2 bar double bottom on the 1 minute right there, and we were in oversold condition. That was a good place to buy right there with a stop just below the day session open. That would have been, let's say we bought it at 50 just to keep it simple. It went all the way up, let's just say right here to 90. That's like a 40 point on NQ. And then the rest of the afternoon was just we shouldn't have traded at all. This level though, you guys could see this level right there. It was holding as extreme resistance. Look at how many times it was trying to touch and go through it, but it never materialized. So, like, there was one here, but there was absolutely no reason to trade after that. All right, that's it for today. I'm just gonna keep it short and to the point. If you guys have any questions, again, you guys could email me at transformmytrading@gmail.com. Again, that's transformmytrading@gmail.com. Thank you.